You know what time it is. It is our first episode of the Scandal Sesh Recaps with me, your host, Summer Rayne, and
Woohoo, me, Perry from Scandals, your favorite pharmacist.
ooh, pharmacist. Ooh, what do you got for me? You got something good?
I mean, I know you're a big fan of some vodka sodas or maybe a White Claw basic bitch drink.
You know that's my favorite, basic bitch.
On this first episode, they went a little crazy, turned it on its heels for us with 6 lip syncs right off the bat.
Right off the bat, I could not believe it. Watching the little act one of what they put out the first 15 minutes or so, I was really looking forward to like it being some major changes. And other than the judges panel, it was pretty changed.
Yeah, it was good to see some familiar favorites like Ross and Michelle, but starting the season on the main stage, that's crazy. And then also like only getting to see 2 at a time, like they don't have that group introduction. It kind of made the walking into the workroom seem a little less dramatic.
Way dramatic. Like, I don't know, being only 2 people, you're really exposed. You don't have a chance to hide. And that's scary for a lot of queens. I don't know what I would do if I would work it, if I would go in.
What were your favorites? What were your favorites before you started watching, like from just the Meet the Queens?
Some of my favorites, definitely Simone is one of my favorites. I've seen her. She's in the House of Avalon with Gigi Good. So I've seen some of her work before. What other ones? Candy Muse. I'm familiar with her work. And I love how loud she is. Can't forget her. But then also Denali, like this ice skating backflipping queen is crazy. I can't believe somebody could do that.
Well, I mean, Milk kind of did, but
kind of, yeah. But yeah. She didn't do a backflip. I don't think she's in a backflip.
No. Some of my favorites, right before season 12 started, I was actually in New York right at the beginning of this pandemic, and I got a chance to go to one of Jan's shows, and she was hosting with Rosé, and also they introduced Olivia as one of the baby queens. So I got a chance to meet both Rosé and Olivia, and I loved both of them. I actually kind of was like, because I didn't know who Jan was yet either, but I was like, wait, which one's going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race? Because Rosé back then was like stealing the show, and then turns out she's on it now. And then Olivia like was definitely brand new, but she was just so beautiful and stunning. And like after the show was over, I went over and was like, can I get a selfie with you? I just know you're going to be on Drag Race someday. And she was.
Lo and behold, let's be a lady tonight.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, well, they started walking in, and so our first entrance was Candy Muse, who you just said was one of your favorites. She was actually probably just from the Meet the Queens, one of my least favorites, but she walked in with that denim outfit and I was shocked. I was like, okay, she's got some looks.
She looked just like her sister Dahlia Sim. She came in season 12?
Yeah.
And she was first to go, and she came in with the corset, the denim, and everything. Just like in the house, they're in the same house. So I mean, definitely the Brooklyn style, the denim. It actually looked great. And then Joey J walked in with her like little red little leotard with the little chaps. That was cute.
And as in the words of Candy Muse, chicken feathers.
Oh my God, I didn't know that it was such big of a deal.
Well, now you know. You better not commit scandals in chicken feathers.
Oh my God, like Candy was like basic bitch. Ooh.
Right. The thing I thought that was funny about Joey J is all of her Meet the Queen videos and everything I've seen, she kept going on and on about being a drag queen that doesn't wear a wig. And so for her first impression, she comes out with a big ass blonde wig. I was like, where's this no wig queen?
And it wasn't even big ass blonde. It was blonde, but it was wet. just flat.
Yeah,
She was
wet,
ready to
wet,
lip
but long.
sync. It was pretty long. And then, of course, the lights flash. And then the Rue alarm goes off. And then Rue pops up on the TV and says, report to the main stage. We're about to meet you guys right now.
I think that's
absolutely crazy.
I think that's great as far as like the meeting part, because like I think it's strange sometimes how the judges don't get to meet them until they're actually already judging. So like I like the idea of like the judges getting to ask them questions and getting to know them.
Yeah, they were very much. I mean, one of Michelle's first question was, what does this represent? Why does this outfit represent you? And so that's really great for a chance for the judges to meet the queens, and so they can really make an impression on them. And then they lip sync to, oh my God, what do they lip sync to? Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. Oh, I'm gonna call you maybe freaking Candy. Oh my God, I think Joey should have started off a little bit better.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joey wasn't prepared for a stunt, and Candy had the stunt ready to go, and I think like right away threw her off. So like, I mean, she's already nervous. They're lip syncing when they're not expecting to lip sync, and then as soon as the lip sync starts, your competitor has like an edge up. It's like when Sasha pulled out the roses, Shay was like, "Okay, now what do I do? I'm done. Like, why do I even keep going?"
Joey should have started like plucking herself, like just going across the stage and just started plucking herself.
That would have been great. Candy definitely killed it though. There was no question in my mind who won that lip sync.
Yeah, Candy is beautiful. She is gorgeous. One of my favorites so far, and there's only been 2.
So then Joey's eliminated. She's done. She's got the pork chop. Goodbye.
The pork chop. And it's the pork chop is my favorite. That's my favorite line.
So I guess the next one to walk in was Denali, your Chicago ice skating queen. She came in with that big, huge, long braid and wearing ice skates.
Ice skates. And I thought that they were going to be like high heels ice skates, but they were real ice skates and they were tearing up the floor. I felt so bad.
Yeah, she didn't even have blade covers on them.
No, she's just walking in, cutting freaking everything up.
I wonder what the main stage runway is like now forever damaged thanks to Denali.
This is how I'm going to sabotage you. I'm going to cut up all of this stuff, make it loose, crack the ice so that when you bust your ass, you're falling through.
And speaking of which, we didn't talk about it with the last 2, but their entrance lines, Denali had one of my favorites. She was like, let me break the ice. Like, I mean, she was breaking the ice. She was breaking the floor.
I just can't believe it. But they were stoned. They were stoned. As stoned as I am right now. But yeah, they were pretty stoned.
Perfect.
And then Lala Ree walked in. My thing just fell out of my ear.
Uh-oh. I thought it was interesting with Lala Ree that she came in wearing a mask, because this is like the first time we see a face mask yet. Like,
right.
Okay, now we're in the pandemic.
And off the subject, I think the queens isolated with each other for 2 weeks, no?
Yeah, so it said that for 12 days before they started filming, they didn't isolate together, they all isolated. So like the queens already, when they do the show, stay in a hotel, and besides when they're filming, they're by themselves. But these queens had to sit for 12 days all alone before they even got to start filming. So
okay,
they were anxious and ready to get out there.
Yeah, and I think with the 2 people, it was nice because it was 4 judges, 2 contestants, so 6 people. Yeah. I think that's a good amount of people. But Lala Ree, and she looks good. I mean, she was kind of basic. The hair was kind of basic, but I loved the blazer. It was all like this shimmery rhinestone, and then the matching mask. I love a matching mask moment.
I do say though, when she was like lifting up her blazer, like you could see the bottom. It looked like it might have been a longer blazer, and she just cut it right at the last minute because it was like very unfinished cut at the bottom, and kind of looked like from here up it looked great, but then like the bottom just looked undone.
Oops, sorry, Lala. And then that alarm goes off. They're summoned by RuPaul to the stage. And then they ask him questions. What was some, do you remember, were there any questions that stood out that they asked Lala and Denali?
I know, I just remember Ross saying something about ice skating and drag queens, how much gayer can we get? But I feel like they actually didn't spend much time on Lala Ree, and because they jumped pretty quickly into their lip sync.
Yeah, I think to get all three of them, they had to jump. But I think it was pretty cool when they were like the Tanya Harding moment.
Oh, yeah.
A little tie to Portland, a little tiny tie.
Denali definitely identifies with Tanya. Let's see if she's actually that vicious when it comes to the competition, because far we haven't got to see her break any legs.
No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, when they go to the stage and they do their lip sync, Denali does great, and even in freaking ice skates.
Yeah, she definitely had a disadvantage. Like, I know that they say not to take off your shoes, not to take off your wigs, but like, take off your ice skates. Is that okay? Like, how does that fly? She didn't. She just kept them on, and Lala Ree, good thing, kept her distance so she didn't get sliced in half.
Right. Cut a leg off. I mean, your foot's gone. You know, fuck Eureka moment. It is, you're full blown and a paraplegic now. Amputee. Oh, so then they lip sync. Lala Ree does great. She wins the lip sync.
Yeah, I don't think that one was quite as clear cut as the first one. Like, do you agree with the winner?
I do agree with the winner. I do actually think that you're right. Denali had a disadvantage because of the ass skates. So it kind of, with the heels, Lala was kind of really able to do a performance and kill it.
I mean, I'll say when I watched it the first time, I was kind of like, did she deserve that win? But then I watched it a second time and I was like, okay, like when they actually zoomed in and stuff, I think that Denali was so thrown off on like trying to stay walking in her heels that she didn't really have the words down as much. And Lala Ree definitely in the face, she was serving it, whereas Denali had a couple cute stunts and flips and stuff, but like she wasn't singing the song. It like wasn't emotion all over.
No, and I think what was maybe it was another queen, but somebody was like, I get into the song. I think it was the next group of girls they said that, but it's totally right. When you're lip syncing that song, when you can get into your emotion of it, you're gonna make sure everybody's having a good time. And that's the key, is like you're trying to make sure with the judges that you're killing it.
Yeah.
And you're standing out.
And it was the Pussycat Dolls. When I grow up, like every queen has performed that song. Like I've seen that song so many times. So they definitely knew it. It wasn't a matter of not knowing the words.
No, this is like the first song I did when I did drag. Amateur night. This is it. This is the tea. This is it. This is the song.
So when Denali left, now she's going into the pork chop lounge. So now you see that Joey J hasn't actually left yet. She's still sitting there. So now this is like clued into, okay, something's up.
Right. And then they meet for the first time. And so you've got to think, okay, if they're meeting, I always think, of course, the opposite are meeting. Lala and who was the first winner? Candy. They're meeting in the workroom. What do you think, like, you walking into a room like that, you say you get the pork chop, and you're walking in and you're seeing another new queen. How would you react seeing them sitting there?
I mean, I feel like that would have been like, because you just got told you're eliminated, but then at least now you know you're not alone and eliminated. Like, I don't know. I feel like just knowing how the RuPaul show goes, like, I feel like that would have been reassuring that, okay, there's something. There's it, like every All-Star where like they go back into the back room and like the mirror thing with Alyssa Edwards. Like, I just feel like, okay, what's next? We're gonna do something.
Yeah. And then the next set of queens to come in, I think the first one was Simone, wearing a dress made of all Polaroids of herself. What do you think of Simone?
My first exposure to Simone was the Meet the Queens, and her Meet the Queen look too, with the crazy hair and a totally different look from all the other queens.
Totally different. And it's like something we've never seen before, kind of like a wig structure. And she said Gigi Good made it. So I was like, dang, this is great. I love this. And she looks beautiful.
Yeah.
What she calls herself, the oh my God, I can't even say it. The Ebony Enchantress. She's definitely an enchantress.
Yeah, she walked in and her tagline was that, "Don't let the smooth taste fool you, baby." She walked in.
Don't let the
confident.
smooth taste fool you, baby.
And then following her was Tamisha Iman from Atlanta. She came in with those big red spiky shoulder pads and holla at me.
She meant business. She meant business. You know, and then she comes, you find out 30 years in the game. I mean, experience.
So here's a question though. She says 30 years in the game. I was trying to look up on Wikipedia. She's the only one that doesn't have her age listed. I've heard a couple times that she's the oldest queen, but then I saw somewhere else I found that she's only 43. I was like, 30 years, 43, you were 13 when you started doing drag?
Right.
So there's a little bit of question about her age and her experience there.
Are we thinking the oldest of all of RuPaul? Because Charlie Hides is like probably in her 60s now, or close to it.
Right.
But I don't think that Tamisha is that old. Absolutely not. However, you could start that old. You could totally start that young.
Yeah.
But I think she's older. I think, yeah. I totally think she's older. And we find out, okay, Rue alarm goes off. Ear. Maybe here you could put in like his Rue alarm, or like a cop noise. They go to the stage, and what do we find out about them?
We find out that Tamisha was actually supposed to be on season 12, but after she got cast, she found out she had colon cancer.
Oh my God. I mean, what did she say? The Friday she got the call, hi, you're on season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Celebrating Friday, celebrating Saturday. Oh my God, Sunday my phone rings and it's my doctor. And I find out I have stage 3 colon cancer and I have to start radiation chemotherapy immediately. I would cut up all my wigs. I'd be so mad. I'd do it myself.
Also, I mean, good for her for coming back stronger and doing it. But part of me was thinking like, that's a pre-existing condition. Why are you putting yourself out there and traveling and going and putting yourself at risk during a pandemic? But let's cross our fingers for her.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? RuPaul, I can't in good conscience allow you to keep going on because you're on your deathbed.
Right.
Oh my God. And then they lip sync. What's the song? Janet Jackson, The Pleasure Principle. I've never heard that song before.
What?
Never.
You're not a Janet fan?
I'm not. I mean, I was born in '92, so the Jacksons were not like, they were kind of right before. I was like Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. Maybe Michael Jackson. He's a little bit older than them.
Yeah. I mean, Janet was my first CD I ever owned. But The Pleasure Principle was from her first or second album. So that was kind of early for me, but I still definitely knew that song. Tamisha obviously knew it because she was trying to pull out some Janet moves.
I mean, right at the bat, right at the gate.
I do say
That's all she was doing.
That happens a lot when people lip sync to Janet, but like that wasn't necessarily the right moves for that song, and she just kept repeating them.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a little slow because she's a little older.
I was afraid. I was like, is she gonna need a break? Like, is the oxygen tank right next door? Are they ready? I was scared. But Simone killed it too, and she's very much. She reminds me of Gigi, where Gigi kills it with the fashion when she's performing, and then she like throws in these little like she does the little sounds and she does the little quirks that make it funny and enjoyable.
Yeah, she was telling the whole story in her face. Like Simone didn't have to move. If the camera just zoomed in on her face, the whole story was there. Like the way she moved her eyes, her mouth. Yeah, she definitely did it.
Yeah. And then who's the winner?
The winner was Simone.
Simone wins. Congratulations, Shantae. You stay.
I think it was funny when they're leaving. Tamisha's the first one that actually turned around and gave kind of a goodbye. She said, "Thank you for the opportunity." Or no, she said, "Thank you. I'm always going to be a Rue girl," and gave an exit line. Like, I feel like exit lines are kind of important for some of these girls. They think they're going home. That might be the last chance. Like, that's what saved Angie.
Right. And then Tamisha walks into the pork chop pit stop, I think is what they call it, and meets the other two queens. And she's like, straight up, I'm ready to go. I mean, my bags are packed. She's done told me we're gone. I'm in my head. That's all we're doing. And Denali and I can't even Joey. Denali and Joey. They were like, something's up. This isn't RuPaul without a twist. What did you think of the pork chop?
Yeah, and they're like, they're definitely showing some optimism, but Tamisha's like, the lady said go home. The lady said go home.
I mean,
she's given up. But could you imagine you get cast on season 12, find out you have colon cancer, you recover from colon cancer, during the middle of a pandemic, you fly to LA to be on season 13, you go out, perform for 3 minutes, and then they're like, goodbye. Like,
bye-bye. Like, where is your like fight? Like, Denali's pissed. She's about to ready to cuff somebody. And then Tamisha's like, okay, bye. See you guys later. I'm a Rue girl. I got my royalty. Done and done.
Yeah.
So
next we get to some groundbreaking, like history making with the next queen to walk in the room. And I think she has probably the best entrance line of the season too.
What does she say?
Time to crash the system.
Time to crash the system. This is iconic. Now, I've heard of Gottmik before Drag Race a few times, maybe seen her on Instagram with her makeup, but I've never like really followed her, even saw her outside of her drag makeup. So seeing him like in the interview, it really like pieced it together. And then later on when he's introducing himself, he's saying, I was born a woman, I transitioned to a male, and now I do drag.
Now he dresses as a woman for money.
Now he dresses for a woman for money.
It's a similar story to a local queen that was on another competition, though. They had a similar line. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Is it Kit apparently?
Yeah.
She was on Camp Wine and Kiki season 2?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now she's been all up in the Tammy Brown world. Like,
I know. Oh my God. She's really killing it. And she really, Claire apparently. What did I say?
I don't remember, but it just came.
Yeah, right. Claire apparently. Sorry, girl. Oh, but she paints really good. Just like Milk. I mean, two totally different sides of the painting spectrum, but Gottmik. Why do I say Milk? I always say Milk.
Well, even Gottmik says in her Meet the Queens, people confuse it because it looks too much. The phrase "got milk."
Yeah, she's like, it was kind of funny because she's like, I spend so much time correcting bitches.
And then the next kooky queen to walk in is Utica.
Utica
from Utica, Minnesota.
She's sickening. Oh my gosh. I thought that I was going to like her. I do like her because of all the patterns. She walked in looking like Mad Hatter, but she is very, very out there.
Very kooky. And I mean, she looks like she's like 7 feet tall. So she's in her own like galaxy up there.
Atmosphere, dimension. I mean, I don't know where she's at. I would love to be there.
She called herself a hot dish of ridiculousness, and I'm living for
it. I'll eat it up. I do like to mix my food, so that's
fine. And they get probably this song I feel like a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time. They get a lip sync to Rumors.
I listened to Rumors on Apple Music the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. This is what I grew up with, and they killed it. But I was super scared of them because Utica seemed very nervous. Gottmik obviously was like, I'm not a killer lip sync artist. So I was nervous for that.
Yeah, I think that like Gottmik a couple times right before she went to like go to do the splits or go to do some kind of trick, it almost looked like they stopped for a second before they executed, like definitely in the head thinking about it. And then Utica was crazy, but like once again, I don't know, I feel like she was telling the story with her face. Like I liked her lip sync a lot. Like
you know, I kind of noticed with these two in particular is that they kind of give off this kind of like, I want to say it, this fake persona. Like Gottmik is very like, hey Gorge. And Utica is very kooky, but it's like, where's the realness? So the vulnerability is that part of like, I'm going to be interested to see how they kind of like are as people.
Yeah. I definitely, out of all of them so far that got the chop, Utica's the first one that got the chop that I was like, like she better not, like I really want to see more of her. Like I'm like, that can't be all. Like she's too different for me to just get a taste. Like I need more. And she also, speaking of exit lines, she also gave a good exit line. When she walked off the stage, she turned around and yelled,
I'll get you for this, RuPaul.
I'll get you for this, RuPaul.
Almost like Wicked Witch of the West. Like, I'll get you for this, RuPaul.
I mean, I think she was smart in the sense that she knows if she's going home, she's got to pull out like something like how do I make sure I come back? Like
that Banji moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Gottmik won. Utica got the pork chop. Go Go ahead.
So now it's time for Rose to walk into the workroom. Rose walks in and she doesn't even give an entrance line. She just kind of, hey, but her entrance line is her black tooth.
Hey. And what's funny is that these queens, so they're going 2 by 2 by 2, and the first one of those are coming in thinking that they're first ones.
Right.
Coming into the workroom. So they're, oh my God, I'm the first one, yada, yada, yada. But Rose comes in, and I've heard of Rose, Stephanie's child with Jan. So I'm hearing of her beforehand. I wish Laguna Blue was in the season. That would be killer to get both of them in.
She's probably coming next season. They'll finish the trilogy season 14. Although we always thought that we would finish the DWV trilogy, and Vicky Vox never made it on. So who knows?
Never made it on. You know, in the what do they call them? The like predictions on YouTube, the people who have those accounts that predict who the queens are going to be for the season.
Yeah.
Vicky Vox, I think, was supposed to be on season 13 this coming season, but she ended up not being on this season. Oh well.
Maybe she didn't pass her COVID test.
Oh, bummer. Or it was another shared pie incident.
I hope not.
Or she who not be named.
Right. And so then after Rose, then Olivia Lux walks in. Lux be a lady tonight.
And she's like, I just want to light up the room. She was my favorite. She was my favorite in the Meet the Queens. She was just the cutest little tiniest. She just reminds me of Tinkerbell. Just so innocent.
Super cute. And she walked in that gorgeous gown, like yellow and pink velvet.
Sherbert.
Huge
like
hair, huge earrings. Yeah, stunning.
She looked beautiful. And so she walks over to Rose. They find out they know each other. We find out they know each other.
I knew they knew each other.
In Meet the Queens, Olivia says that she's from New Jersey. So I'm sure that she's doing stuff in New York. It's very close by. I'm sure that they know each other.
Yeah. And it turns out that Olivia was in a pageant and Rose was the host. So they definitely had some experience. And Rose seems a little, not bothered, but she's kind of, her exact words are, I feel like she needed to ripen a little more.
She was bothered. And she says, she was the host. She says, well, how long have you been doing drag? 1.5 years, and I'm here. The way that she looked down and the camera caught that. Now that was, she was bothered.
Yeah, a little bit of shade.
She was bothered.
So then these two queens that know each other, and like Olivia looked like she looked up to Rose a little bit, but now she gets to lip sync against her, and they're doing X's and O's.
Rose is very New York. She reminds me very much of like Laguna Blue, dances like that. Very New York, very on the stage, because they have nowhere to dance on those stages. So they just keep spinning and keep doing these moves. Rose looks great.
Yeah, and Olivia, as she says in her own words, she's feeling the song. The song overtakes her, and we get a air solo guitar.
And a reveal.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. She came out in that beautiful gown, and I didn't know that it was going to be a bodysuit.
It looked, it blended so well. I was like, where, and I even watched it for a second time, and I tried to clock where that tearaway was. I couldn't find it.
Yeah. And so then once she did her reveal, then Rose took off the jacket. So they're both in their little bodysuits, giving it their all. And Rose did not make the cut. She gets sent home by this young queen.
Oh my God. I laughed so hard knowing that Olivia won that. She killed it. And Rose is bothered. bothered.
Yeah. I will say that once again, it was one of those that was pretty close though. I don't like, it wasn't like, I was on the edge of my seat waiting to see who they announced. But
Yeah.
I was personally happy for Olivia. Now we have the final lip sync of the night, the 3 queens. Since there's an uneven amount, we have to have one group with 3. And it starts off, Tina Burner walks into the room.
Tina Burner from New York City. I think that she is Miss Comedy Queen 2019, something like that. Miss National Comedy Queen 2019. So that tells me, even the way that she walked in and the things that she's wearing, she's probably got some tricks up her sleeve.
Yeah, I know in her Meet the Queen video, she was definitely high up on my list of favorites because she was just so funny and she felt very comfortable. She didn't feel like she was faking it. Like, so far I haven't seen any looks that I'm like, oh, that's a great look. But like Bob the drag queen wasn't known for Bob's looks. Sometimes personality is more important. So.
Right, but Bob had more colors in his outfits. Tina's very Ronald McDonald, red and yellow. I mean,
Ronald McDonald.
The interview, the walk-in, the Meet the Queens, it's all yellow and red. I'm hoping that maybe she's colorblind.
The next queen that walks in, Kamara, we'll talk about her in a second, but she calls her a big sexy hot dog, and I'm like, I loved it. Like mustard and ketchup. Yeah.
Do you put stuff on your hot dogs? Or do you like them plain?
I definitely put mustard and ketchup on my hot dogs. Sometimes some onions, or I love going up to Seattle for a Seattle dog with cream cheese and salsa.
The more the better. Oh God, that sounds so good.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Then Kamora, not Kim.
Kamora. Oh my God.
Kamora Hall walks in. She's
in that Bob Mackie gown. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, so no chicken feathers here. These are all ostrich feathers.
She's definitely a brand queen, very much. You've got to know where it's from and who it is, who you wear. And she goes up to Tina, who you wearing?
I'm pretty sure she also subscribes to the idea, the bigger the hair, the closer to God, because that was some big ass hair.
I mean, huge, but she looked so good. Oh my God. Those Asian features, I wish I had some because they are just so feminine. They're so pretty.
She came out stunning. And like she said, Mackie doll, she's finally out of the box.
Yeah.
And then finally, the final queen comes out. Coming out, it's Elliot with 2 T's.
The final queen of season 13, Elliot. I heard about her right before RuPaul's Drag Race season 13 because Honeybee Heart here in Portland, they've performed together. So I've followed her on Facebook for maybe a year or so. So I had no idea that this is something that she was thinking about doing, but it was kind of nice to see her, but I wasn't gagging over her entrance look. What did you think about it?
I mean, the red vinyl pants. I think Tina Burner said something like, she looks like she was going power walking with my mom. Like, it was cute. Like, totally made me think of like Tiffany and like the mall queen days back when all the girls performed at the mall. Like
very Taylor Dane, very what did Michelle or Rue say later? Expose.
Yeah.
The triple lip syncs, I think one of the things I want to say first before the triple lip syncs is one of my favorite things that Tina said when she met Elliot with 2 T's, and she's like, E.T.
So when they're all meeting, I think it's funny too, because Tina and Kamora kind of gang up on Elliot. They're both like sitting there giving jabs and stuff, and like when Kimora called Tina the big sexy hot dog, Tina's like, "Ooh, you're on my team. Like you're shady too." Like I think we're gonna see a little shady duo there. Like,
oh my God. I mean, Kimora, she's beautiful, but I don't like those queens that are beautiful and are just like that, just shady. It's just like you're not making me having fun right now. It's not fun. Elliot is a ballet dancer, so he's like not to Brooklyn it out, but I'm a ballet dancer, so I'm excited to see what he can come up with choreography because Brooklyn killed it on season 11. On season 11, so I'm excited to see what Elliot has.
yeah, I didn't see Brooklyn statuesque or poise, but we'll see. We'll see.
But Brooklyn is very tall though, so that statuesque poise is very easy for her. Elliot he's super tiny. He's like a little leprechaun.
And they lip sync to Lady Marmalade. I think this is a weird song choice for a lip sync because it's 4 parts. So like, do you sing or do you lip sync to all 4 parts? Like, I don't. That's weird to me. Like,
You know, I've done this in a brunch one show, and I did the Christina Aguilera, and I killed it, and I looked just like her. I killed it, and Christina Aguilera, if you listen to Lady Marmalade, she's kind of towards the end. So I think it would have been so fucking cool if all 3 of them knew they were going to do this. And each one of them pick a freaking part.
yeah.
And then they all 3 do, all 4 of them. Oh, yeah, all 3 of them do Christina on the 4th part, which is the last part. But I thought it was a perfect song. And Tina is huge. She's she towered over both of them, and she did an amazing job. So New York, so animated.
I don't know if I agree with you on that one. Like, I personally didn't think any of them killed it. Like, and like I said, maybe it's because it was a weird choice because they weren't sure what song or part to pick. But like, I mean, Tina did stand out, but that's just because she literally stands out. But like, as far as performing, I was like, I didn't see greatness in any of them. But then also, you're trying to watch 3 people, so I never really focus. I don't know. I watched it a second time, and I was just like, I think it's probably my least favorite lip sync of all of them. Like,
I did actually enjoy Tina, but you're right. With 3 of them doing them all at the same time, you know, we just watched season 10 with Aquaria, and Aquaria, Eureka, and Cameron Michaels, all 3 lip sync for the last final crown. And it's so hard to watch each one of them.
Yeah.
So hard to do that.
Or like on season, was it season 11 where she made like half the girls lip sync? Like there were 6 of them. Like that was the one where Honey Davenport got sent home.
Oh my God, it was Honey Davenport, and we just watched that too. It was Honey Davenport. Yeah, absolutely. And watch your face, Raja.
I loved Honey, so I was so sad that Honey got sent home on that one. But.
Yeah, you know, I thought that other queens did worse than Honey did.
But I will say for this lip sync, even though it wasn't my favorite, Tina did deserve to win it. Like she definitely, for 3 mediocre performances, I think she stood out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the editing did Tina better than the other 2, but Tina, yeah, she won. The other 2 got the pork chop. They walk in the back, and the other 2 are like, okay, they're the last 2 queens. They don't know what's going on, but the other queens are sitting there, and they just start asking questions. What the hell is going on? What is going on? And Elliot is getting mad. I feel like Elliot could freaking flip the freaking table.
Right.
Like
Elliot's getting mad. Denali is pissed, and Utica looks like she's gonna cry. Like she's
right.
So sad.
And then we finally see the winners. They're Kiki Kai-Kaing. They're having fun. They're laughing. They're very much the winner circle. very much that attitude.
Yeah. I mean, they have the right to be. They all just won. They're
right.
And
this, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the relief they must feel, like all that pressure of, oh, we just started, and the first thing you're gonna do is a lip sync, and you might get sent home. Well, they survived that, so now they know that at least they get one more week. They're gonna be on 2 episodes, like.
Yeah, and this is where it's like you could really see Rose fuming, which I think is hilarious. And so it's kind of nice to kind of hear, because this is that all the queens are done performing. They're kind of sharing with each other. This is who I've performed against. This is who I've performed against. So we're finding out who else is here. Tina's like, oh shit, Rose's here. And Rose, we learn, is very much like, I guess, very The Voice, very America's Got Talent. So I hope that she's not like that.
Well, Tina's like, she says, well, you might be able to sing, but you can't lip sync.
Oh my God.
I think it was Carson asked Rose if she's going to last longer than Jan. And she said, absolutely, I'm going to last longer than Jan. And then chop.
I think actually looking back on the Queen's performances, Rose's is my favorite because she's leaving and Olivia's like, I'm so confused what's going on. And Rose's like, me too. And then she looks back at the judges and she's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But bye.
I think out of all the lip syncs, Rose and Olivia's is probably my favorite overall. But like my favorite specific one is Candy Muse. I think she killed it right off the beginning. Her personal performance, I think, was great.
I agree. Yeah.
So I was just talking about my favorite lip sync. Like I said, I think Rose and Olivia as a group, but Candy overall. What about you? What's your thoughts?
Rose and definitely Olivia is one of my favorites. Actually, Tamisha. Oh no, not Tamisha. I'm sorry, Lala Ree. She actually kind of stood out to me as well.
Okay.
But just kind of those two really just stood out to me. I think the first lip sync, actually Denali, I mean, I think actually she did great with those freaking ice skates. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Who do you think was the worst? Who do you definitely think deserved the chop?
Well, Tamisha, I'll say Tamisha because she was very much Janet the whole time. That's all she did. Utica.
Yeah.
I think Utica wasn't very, she was just very, very big with her mouth. Very Jujubee, but Jujubee kind of controls it a little bit better.
I think my two favorites were the Elliot and Kimora. Like, maybe it's just because I didn't get to see enough of them, but I definitely, out of all of them, they didn't stand out for me for sure. And then Joey J, I'm like, maybe I just didn't like Joey J because Candy was so strong that I wasn't even paying attention to Joey. I don't know, but those are the three that I least liked.
I just thought that Joey, she should have just amped it up. She was like, I'm clucking and bucking. And then she just does this. That's all. She just stands there and lip syncs. I was like, where's the clucking and bucking?
Yeah.
There's no clucking and bucking. Cut the check. I'm
buck.
waiting for that.
Overall, so for this episode, because they went straight from the workroom to the stage and performed, we only got to see one look. So what was your favorite, like, best, which entrance look was your favorite?
Oh my God. I love Denali's. I love the long pony with the ice skates, very white swan, black swan kind of moment. I think another one of my favorites, probably Simone as well. Simone as well.
Okay.
Probably Simone as well. I think it was very cool what she did too.
Yeah. I mean, Simone was probably the most different, like something we've never seen before. But I do agree with you. My personal favorite was Denali. And Denali's not even one of the queens that stood out on the radar for me, but her look, like for the entrance looks, like it was the most, this is who I am. Like she's calling herself the Ice Queen. She came out looking like an Ice Queen. And then Olivia, like she calls herself a little Broadway queen. She came out with theater to the max.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I will definitely add Olivia on there because knowing that she had that tearaway, I mean, she killed it. And she had the gloves to match the earrings. You're right. She fucking killed it. What were your least favorite?
My least favorite was Lala Ree. I think that the jacket looked unfinished. It also was basically just a bodysuit, which Michelle talks about how much she hates. It didn't tell me anything about her. Like, I feel like your entrance look should tell us about you, and it didn't tell you anything about her. Like, the only thing that I found interesting was her mask, and then she took that off like almost immediately. So, and then the other one is Joey J, like the all red with the long blonde wig for a queen that doesn't wear wigs, and it just looked cheap. But those were definitely my least favorites.
I think one of my least favorites is Elliot with two T's. Very much I mean, she looked cute, but it wasn't like this is your entrance look. This needs to be huge, massive. Like, I want you to be heavy. Like, I want you to look like Kimora Hall. Bob Mackie gown with 17 wigs piled on top of your fucking head. I want it to be you to be killing it. Yeah. I think another, let's see. I think another queen that did not impress me as well as Joey as well.
Yeah.
Is Joey J. Joey J did not impress me.
You know, the one thing that Joey J did impress me with is their confessional looks. Joey J is a cute boy. We had some cute boys this season. Joey J, lots of people are talking about Rose. I think Olivia's super sexy as a boy. And Denali, I definitely think there's a couple of cute boys. How about you? Any trade looks?
I like girl Rose and those bushy brows. Oh my God. Oh, I love a bushy brow. But I love a little femboy too, a little femme bottom. So Joey J is definitely cute. Totally cute. And with the pictures that I see on Instagram with his little purple hair, it's totally adorable. Like his Meet the Queens look. Why didn't he just walk in with no freaking wig on? He looks great.
I wonder if we're gonna get to see any more of him. Like, so like, what's gonna happen next week? Like, they end the show by saying, "You're all sent home." Just kidding. Like, duh, we knew that was coming. But you're not all sent home. But now you have to give one of your other queens the chop. Like, how do you think that's gonna happen? What do you think about that?
Michelle was very much like, Grease, ding, ding, ding. They find out, somebody has to get the chop. I would send home the person that I know that kills it the most. So like Rose, walking in, of all the queens that are in the chop, of the pork chop pit stop, Rose is the one that I know the most. So I would kick her off because I know she's going to beat my ass.
Yeah.
I don't know these other queens, what they have.
Well, Tamisha gives a plea to not send her home, but she also just before this told everybody that she just fought cancer. Like, I feel like it would take a lot to be the person that sends her home. Like, Rose, there's plenty of ammo to send Rose home. Kimora and Elliot are the only two that have actually seen each other perform, because maybe they let them watch the others perform before they decide. Like, I don't know, but like,
I don't you know, they showcase next season, so they do like a group challenge of like a song of one of it's called Congratulations by RuPaul. You could probably find it on iTunes, wherever songs are sold. But it looks like that they do a challenge, much like season, was it season 7, where they do the runway of like a fall and a spring look. But it looks like only a small group of girls. So I'm wondering if maybe the pork chops compete against each other, and then the winners compete against each other, and then the 2 people from those groups go against each other to find out the winner.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
It's definitely, I feel like they definitely kept showing clips of just the winners doing the challenge. And then they kind of show, it looks like they're voting, but like we're not really sure. So there could be a lot more that happens before they get to the vote. Guess we'll find out.
I hope it's a vote like Survivor, like All Stars, like the last season of All Stars, where they go into the room and they show their lipstick. This is who I choose. That's my. Oh, that's so great. I hope that brings that back.
We'll see. Like, I mean, who are you hoping goes home? Do you have a?
You know what? I think that. Okay, I have no idea who I think is gonna go home. But I do think that they will. Let's just say somebody.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Denali or Kimora, because I've seen other clips with them on the runway in other outfits. So I feel like Kimora and Denali are for sure safe. I would hate to see Rose go home so early, because I think she has a lot more to give. Same with Utica.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Joey, Elliott, and Tamisha, I feel like if I don't see any more of them, I won't be that sad. But
not that sad. Utica to me is not. She's just. I feel like it's somebody like Pheromone, like somebody who's in this kind of field, this subject, but she hasn't found herself yet. So I don't know if she's. I don't know about Utica. Maybe I'd like to see Utica go home.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out, and we'll be talking about it next week when we watch episode 2. I can't wait to find out more. We have to wait a whole week.
Episode 2 of the Scandal Sesh recap. A whole week, and I hate it. And I'm going to keep watching RuPaul's Drag Race because I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, you're going to be on season 14, right?
Season 14, 15, and 16.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. Make sure you push subscribe and come back and watch us every week.
Every week. We'll be back. You'll see us get crazier. Who knows what we're going to be wearing next week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.